We have some new character introductions, and this love triangle is not looking cute. Stay tuned for all the drama.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
There it is.
I love the light.
Oh my gosh. So excited. So excited to be here. Once again, talking about High School Musical, the musical,
The series.
But I am not alone, of course. I have a Disney-obsessed, a High School Musical-obsessed fan over here right next to me, and she is Miss Chae Jones.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be back for a second week.
A second week and a lot to talk about.
And this lovely, amazing woman to my right.
Hey.
She is the hostess with the mostest. She loves High School Musical. Miss Leslie.
Yes, that is me. I am Leslie Colon, and again, I am so excited to be here because for those of you who didn't watch last week, I am super obsessed, and I always wanted to be Gabriella. Like, I'm obsessed with love, and this is like all love.
That is, I think that's actually the testament to the movie, what the show's about too.
Seriously.
And if you guys are wondering where our male co-host Jeff is, he is in New York living his best life, but he will be back with us next week. Jeff, we love you. If you're watching, hi.
Keep doing what you're doing in the big city. We have the city behind us, but we're not in the real city.
I know, right? It's nice to almost be there with you.
I know. But first things first, I do want to say thank you guys. We are literally at 20K, so we really appreciate all your support. And just so you know, we are sticking to Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., so stay tuned and watch along. And I know Chae is going to shout out some people in the chat, so join that conversation with us. But overall, what do you think of the second episode?
It was amazing.
Beautiful.
All the sneaky parts, but for me, the amazing, awesomeness, incredible moment for me in this entire episode was that song.
Yes.
The original song called Wondering. It's so beautiful. The lyrics are so real and raw, and it was my favorite part. What about you?
I know, for me, like, to be honest, I felt like at first it was a little slow. I was kind of waiting for, like, that dramatic moment, and then it hit with that song. So I was like, okay, perfect. And it wasn't just the song. I think it was also, like, the meaning behind it, and kind of you realize, like, Nini was realizing, oh, okay, maybe I did lose something that was very valuable. So it was kind of, like, so emotional. I was definitely, like, almost tearing up right there, but it was cute. You did?
Oh, my God. No, I was moved, like, because she was having a realization. I don't want to jump into it too fast, but, like, I really, like, it was amazing.
Let's just start from the beginning real quick, and then we'll get into that big moment. First things first, we did see a change of roles. We saw that, Natalie, we were wondering who the stage manager was because she was super hilarious, and now we know her name is Natalie. Yes. But she wasn't in this episode, so hopefully we do get to see her a little bit more. But what did you think of Red being the stage manager in this episode?
That table read. Red, big Red, sir. Dude. It's like me reading a comment right now. It's like, since season 1 on High School Musical 1, what if a season 2 is on High School Musical 2? And then, like, you could drop a pin how silent it was in the place. Right. It was amazing. Like, he's not a theater person. This is not his realm. He does not know what to do or what the proper things are when actually doing a table rehearsal is supposed to look like. Right. So the fact that you brought in this new person who has no frame of reference and almost give a dry, like a cold reading if you're like doing audition tape and the cold reader's giving you nothing. Yeah. But you're still supposed to like pull the energy and the drama and the tears and the crying for it. I lived for it.
I think it definitely fit like his role, the fact that him and Ricky didn't even want to be part of this, and then all of a sudden they're like being part of this. So it was cool to see the fact that he was kind of like, all right, now you're doing something. So hopefully I want to see a little bit more of him involved in this musical, because I think it's definitely going to add a twist. And I have a prediction already that eventually he's going to learn to love it like Ricky's learning to love in this episode.
Definitely.
So I think we're going to have to wait and see, but he definitely adds a lot of personality into this whole episode and this whole cast. I love it's kind of awkwardness. Don't you feel like he's a little bit awkward?
Yes, it's like awkward. I was trying to figure out like a word I was gonna tag onto awkward. It was like awkward chic in a sense,
and like nerdiness, like cute nerdiness. So
and it's adorable. Like so I don't know what some people find nerdiness to be a turnoff or something, but it can be very attractive. There is something about that.
Right.
I don't know why, but it just is.
No, and actually, to be honest, I think it's changed now. It's become kind of like a trend. Like, a lot of girls want that little nerdiness smart boy who's kind of like not the jock or anything like that. So I think he's definitely going to be one of people's favorites in this season.
I'm definitely one of those girls, so that's particularly my brand.
I'm in the middle. I like a balance of like the jock and then the nerd. So somewhere in between
Leslie would love to find that in between person. Me, I find nerdiness very attractive. I don't know what it is. Like for me, you being nerdy, because I'm nerdy about certain things.
Yeah.
So I hope me being nerdy makes me attractive to you, and your nerdiness makes me attractive to you. It's just, it's like the playoff.
Yeah, of course. But then also someone who we kind of got to see a little bit more of was Seb, who is playing Chae. We didn't really get a name last week, but we actually got a name this week. So what did you think of seeing a little bit more of him and like his sassiness and awkwardness, I guess you could say, with him as well, about him milking his cows?
With his grandma's glasses.
Yeah.
Seb is a very, very interesting character. I feel like I need more information before I will even make a statement on, judgment statement, whatever you want to call it, on what he is or what he will be during this first season. He's very interesting, and if he is straight, because I can't tell at this point, but if he is straight, I can definitely see him and Ashlyn together. I think that'd be adorable.
So you think he's gonna be kind of like the, I don't know, the in-between character where we don't know if he's gay, but we don't know if he's straight, and then all of a sudden it's going to be that, like, relationship kind of that we might see with him and Ashlyn.
Yeah, I think because even the moment they did have, it seemed like they could have had a connection.
Right.
And I can't really tell so far now what he is. And it's fine if he's just, like, right in the middle, if he's just, they're just not going to even make a, is he not situation. They're just going to keep it, just, like, maybe keep us guessing. Right. And I'll be happy with that.
Right, because it keeps it interesting. We're not getting bored, and we're not really, I think in this season overall, or what we're seeing so far with the characters, it's like we're slowly getting to see little big things. For example, with Nini, her kind of mentioning in this episode that she has 2 moms. They kind of mentioned it, but they didn't really fully say it. So in this episode, we got that confirmation. So I think every character in this season has a little twist to them, which is cool because we can relate to them.
Yes.
But someone else that we got to see was Ashlyn. I just love her from this episode. I haven't even seen much of her, but I think I like her. She's different as well, and I think we can all relate to her as well. But what did you think of her overall and her part in this second episode?
I love Ashlyn. I legit could have been friends with her in high school. She's fun. She, like, her wit is, like, almost matches mine in a way.
Yeah.
Especially when she's talking to EJ. And she's just like, now you just went to super creepy.
Yeah.
Like, she's very real about it. Like, it's not even in an attacking way or a two-in-your-face way. It's just sincere honesty.
Right.
And you don't see that often. So I love her spirit and who she is as a character. I can't wait to see her even blossom more. Even if she is playing Mrs. Darbus, there's so much more to Ashlyn, and we got a taste of that at the end of this episode. But there's so much more to her, and I can't wait to see how she blossoms in this episode.
You know who she kind of reminded me of in regards to like a role in this?
Taylor McKessie. Or
no.
Mark,
No, like Courtney, who is actually playing that best friend type of role.
Yeah.
I think she's doing the same thing, just in a different way.
Okay.
In regards to like EJ and Nini now. So I kind of like that difference. Obviously, Courtney is more sassy and more to the point. But Ashlyn is also very straightforward, but more in like a sensitive but honest way.
Yeah.
So I think they're both playing that good best friend role. And I love to see that because all these characters are going through so much. So to kind of have like that good friend right next to you to tell you the reality of things is amazing.
Yeah, we need those people to keep us grounded.
Of course.
And EJ definitely needed this episode. I'm sorry, sir.
I know. Our Troy Bolton isn't here, which is Jeff, who keeps arguing and kept arguing last week, saying that he's Team EJ, but he's not here to comment this week about what he thinks about him. But I'm sure next week he's going to have a lot to say about this love triangle. So now let's get into that love triangle, because best believe this is a love triangle. But overall, what are you still Team Ricky?
Oh, yes. This episode, hands down, made the decision very, very clear. Crystal clear. What about you?
Of course. I just love the fact he's very humbled in a way, but like real in regards to like the issues that he's going through. And I love the fact that you can see that it's affecting him, not just at home, but with his relationship with his friends. And I think that like talk with Nini and the way she kind of lashed out on him, it kind of really hit home, because she wasn't just hitting like the whole love, saying I love you.
Yeah.
So it's like more to that I don't think she's gotten to know about Ricky yet. So I want to see that reality check in regards to Nini of it's not that I just couldn't say I love you. It's more to it.
Yeah, and he even says that. He's like, it's not that I didn't want to say it to you.
You're right.
But you never gave me the chance to
explain
either. But granted, you asked to take a pause. Mm-hmm. For me, this whole love triangle with EJ, yes, EJ is beautiful. Yay. He is very beautiful and he can be very charming. However, I feel like when Nini just jumped into the relationship with EJ, you never actually closed the book with Ricky. And you left that door, you legit left it open just to go to something else, but not realizing when you actually like went off on him, that was what you should have said before you even got with EJ.
Right.
That was a conversation you should have had before.
Exactly. So do you feel, now I'm going to ask you this now that you said that, is EJ a rebound?
Yes. He is a placeholder.
Yes.
I truly believe that, and it's like maybe sad for him, but sir, you are a placeholder. And maybe she does actually feel something for you. That doesn't mean her feelings for you aren't real.
Right.
But her feelings for Ricky are more stronger. You can tell a little bit that within this episode.
And to be honest with EJ, yes, he's cute like you're saying, and he's charming, but I still don't feel like it's real. I kind of have a feeling that it's fake, and he's going to turn and be like that typical jock that we see in all the movies and that character that he's supposed to be playing. I feel like there's going to be a turn into that.
It slowly was that in a way.
Yeah.
He got paranoid. He wanted Ashlyn to steal her phone, to check up on her. He didn't take her word as the trust value that it should have been.
Right.
Because we're still new. We're only been maybe 3-4 weeks, a month, maybe not even more than a month. So what right do you have, one, to ask me... Who is that? Who is that if I don't tell you to ask your cousin to steal my phone so you can check and make sure to see what I'm checking up on me? Exactly. Sorry, that is some possessive behavior for a high schooler. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And that actually also shows me what kind of man you are at the same time. A little insecure. Okay, cool. I can work with insecurity. Right. But I can't work with insecurity plus possessiveness plus, like, I need to be the center of your world. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not, I need to, like, kind of beat down the, opponent in a sense.
Yeah, I agree. No, and you know what? It's funny that you're talking about this. There's actually a word for this in Spanish. It's called machismo. And that's when someone's like very like strong and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do and what you're going to, and you have to do what I say. And I kind of felt a little bit of that in this episode, but in a more like softer way, but still going down that route. Yeah. So I think it's going to be interesting to see that. But who do you think is not trusting the process? Is it Nini or is it EJ?
Definitely EJ. Well, it's technically it really is Nini.
Yeah.
Because EJ is a part of that process. She has to get you to get to the other side. EJ is something almost like what Ashlyn said to him. You can't always get what you want when you want it. Mm-hmm. And I think for him, he's never not gotten something he wanted.
Yeah.
So this is a new experience for him for not getting the role he wanted, not having his girlfriend's full like attention span to him.
Mm-hmm. So do you think EJ needs attention? That's what he's looking for.
Yes.
And he's like...
He needs to be the center of the world.
Yeah. And he hasn't gotten that with his role and now with his relationship. So I think slowly but surely, Ricky's going to come back in and steal Nini. It's obvious. But I want to see that character change between EJ because obviously we're seeing a lot of like different types of character and attitude. He's not as sweet, I don't feel like he was last episode. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes. But I do want to see a little bit more, Nini be more vulnerable in regards to like Ricky's situation and really be understanding of that. But I think once she has that realization, everything's going to change completely.
Definitely. It's funny, the Seb is playing Sharpay. EJ would be perfect to play Sharpay at this point.
I know, that's interesting. But also something that was mentioned and I think that I loved was also when his dad came out and was like, watching High School Musical with him and really interesting. But do you feel like they are going to reveal more about what's going on in Ricky's family life and the problems that his parents are having?
I definitely think it seems like that's the way they're heading.
Yeah.
Especially, it's midnight and you're doing High School Musical moves, but you actually saying, hey dad, like just come, hang out with me. Mm-hmm. Like I do love Ricky's and his dad bond. Even though the mom's not there, at least it's not pulling him and his dad apart.
Agree.
I thought it was, but I love the fact that they're actually like becoming closer and sticking together in the sense.
Yeah. I definitely want to see that unity, but also I would like to see Ricky's mom come back into his life and then see how that plays out, because it's really a reality until what a lot of kids actually go through in high school, you know, divorce and stuff like that, and they don't know how to deal with it. So I love the fact that they're targeting this issue and kind of, I feel like this musical is being a distraction for Ricky, for him to do something for himself and actually, like Nini says, you know, doing musicals and being part of a play is gets her away from reality, and I think that's kind of what's happening with Ricky as well.
Like that's the best part about theater. It is about an escapism from the rest of the world. You get to be someone else, and you don't have to worry about your problems any longer for at least a couple hours, and that is refreshing. That's why people spend thousands of hundreds of dollars to go to a play in Times Square, especially. It is an escapism in the best way it's supposed to be.
Right. And also something else that we saw was pretty much when Ricky did want to give up. Did you feel like he was going to be completely done once you saw him kind of leave and really get frustrated with everything in regards to the play and not being able to dance?
I hoped, you know, he would come out on the other side, obviously, because it is new for him.
Right.
But then you also have the girl you actually love, even though you're not trying to say the word yet.
Yeah.
Like, read you your rights in a way and call you on stuff that she's never called you on before.
Right.
Like, now you actually have to take a look and, do I want to be that person? Do I want to be even maybe like my mom? Do I want to quit when things are getting hard? In the sense, like, she has come back from Chicago. So usually, I think it's interesting the flip side of that, where it's usually the dad who's always away.
Yeah.
But now it's the mom that's away, and do I want to be like her? Do I want to not be committed to something or to someone?
Yeah, of course.
How do I learn to like stay and not give up?
Yeah. And I think also when, you know, he was really thinking about that, he had that realization, or when he was talking to Carlos, like, oh, you're not giving up, you know, Nini needs to see that so she can see that you're not giving up on this like you were giving up on the relationship. So I think it was very clear what was going on there. So he had a reality check, but someone else who had a reality check was Nini.
Yeah. First I thought you were going to say Gina first thing. I got like, oh.
No, we're going to get there. We're going to get to this like little tag team that's happening as well. But first things first, how did you feel about when you started listening to the song and then you realized that it was Ashlyn?
I was shocked. I'm not going to trip. I didn't know who was playing the piano.
Yeah.
I think the character of Ashlyn is one of those things that just shocks you. And you're not, like, she is a shocker character, but in the best way that it could be.
Right.
Because you didn't think she could have that hidden talent that she had of playing the piano and creating this incredible song with so much meaning. And it actually, even though she's playing Miss Darbus, I can actually picture Miss Darbus maybe thinking of that too.
Yeah.
And like in the moment of her life when doing High School Musical.
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of the character that was played. I forget her name. She ended up being with Sharpay's brother at the end.
Oh, Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah. She reminds me kind of a Kelsey character. And how, like, we didn't really see much of her, but eventually we saw her blossom into, like, this confidence. And I saw that in this episode. Yeah. So I really love the fact that we saw her. Again, like you said, I wasn't expecting her. But I kind of love the way everything was connected in regards to Nini being part of this. But her voice is literally beautiful. I think she stole the show.
True. I mean, their voices together mesh just so well. Like, because Ashlyn has a very lower register than Olivia's character Nini does, and like, but they still blended so well, and it meshed, and the harmonization was there. But I love the fact that Nini like hid in a way from EJ. Before she walked into the... I know. She was like, you know, trying to hide her hair and just like, nah, it's not me.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have to... So do you feel like now Nini's getting to the point where she's avoiding him?
I wouldn't say so much avoiding him as she's coming to terms with her own realizations. Like, even though what she said to Ricky was her own truth, there's still an aspect of you jumped into a new relationship without really closing the door on your last one.
Well, and someone who said that was Courtney. Like, are you really done with Ricky? And she wants to say yes, but in reality, she's not. She's not.
Because your heart is still there, and we can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody can tell that your heart, in a way, is still with Ricky. It's the reason why you won't look him in the eye.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you refuse to, like, hold his hand or even do the kissing scene.
Yeah.
Because you know as soon as you do, your true feelings will be shown to everybody. And
Right.
you can't hide behind that anymore.
Yeah. And speaking of that kissing scene, how did you feel about Miss Jenn really trying to put this little relationship back together herself? Because you know that she knows about all of this. Carlos is like the 411 of the whole high school.
Yes.
And he's really telling her all the details about what's going on. So as Miss Jenn, are you trying to put this relationship together as well?
I love how she said the kissing was taken out of the movie, but we put it back in. I love the way she actually tried to make it work.
Right.
But forcing them also wasn't the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's desperate. Like, it's like we really had we really had the first rehearsal, and we can't get through anything. So what can I do to jumpstart it?
Right.
To get it to where I know it can be what I saw in you.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So we saw a little bit more of her character in this episode. What are your overall thoughts on Miss Jenn and her like sassiness, her singing, and her being a little bit dramatic herself?
I'm down with some good drama teacher. I really am. I think Miss Jenn is definitely what I wish a drama teacher could have been like.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, just being over dramatic and singing at the drop of a hat. But she, at least she had, like, for me, she was on key. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're not singing badly, Chae is always happy.
Right.
So that I love that. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna even try to say I don't, but I loved it.
And then, to be honest, I feel like she's one of those teachers that we can be friends with. That she is cool. Like, you'll still respect her as a teacher, but she's cool enough. And we saw that in this episode for a lot of them to go and talk about kind of the real problems and what's going on aside from the play and why they aren't really playing their roles as they should. So I really love her and kind of her. She's a little bit different as well in her phone calls and everything, but something that I thought was hilarious, was the fact that she tried to get this old school phone. And
Gabby's Vanessa Hudgens, Gabby's original phone from High School Musical.
Oh my god, I was like, seriously, it's like a BlackBerry, I think.
Yeah, it was a BlackBerry, but it was so funny. They're just like, what is that? Like a time machine? Is that what they used in olden days?
I know. Someone asked if it was like a garage remote. I was like, seriously? Dang. And that's not even that far behind. So
it was like 04.
I know. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of when I felt like a little bit old, and it was like, all right, now we know where like the characters in the movie are in regards to like time and to where we are at now, because technically the ones that are watching this are the ones who were like part of that era.
True.
So it's kind of hilarious how like they're combining everything together. But something else that happened was pretty much Gina throughout this whole episode, she was giving the side eye to everyone. I want to know how you feel about her.
While I respect the fact that Gina is a new student and she wants to make a name for herself, she wants to make a splash. Maybe she even had bad experiences being the new kid somewhere else, and that's why she's going so hard in the way she is now. But baby girl, just trust your own process of just being the understudy at the same time. Why are you messing with people's lives around here?
Do you feel like she's a Sharpay?
Yes, but so is EJ. That's what's really funny. I actually think him and Gina should just date and be done with the situation.
So, well, obviously, I was going to say, now they're a tag team, pretty much they're working together she said it. I want the same thing that you want, so now let's work together. How'd you feel about when you saw her taking the phone and pretty much trying to ruin this whole situation?
No, she took the phone and gave it to EJ, right? So in my mind...
Well, she switched it in backpacks so that he could have it.
Right. I was like, little girl, close your musical theater ears. Close them up, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Firstly, don't touch my phone. Mm-hmm. That's a big testament to me. I've had phones stolen from me before, so I have a real issue with that too. And then Nini, I know you wearing a dress, but baby girl, you got a jacket. Keep your phone on your personal body.
I know. But I mean, again, she's like not thinking about this. She's an innocent girl who's just in high school. And something that I love as well is that I feel like there's a lot of innocence in the whole high school and the whole characters, which I love because I feel like it's something that we can connect in what high school really is. It's not really like, well, I guess it's changed now.
It depends on what high school you go to
I
also.
know. I'm like, I feel like it's changed now, but that's, for me, I can relate to that. It's really cool, the fact that they're all still innocent. They're still in high school, and it's like things that we still deal with, or we used to deal with back when we were in high school. But also, I think one of the things about Gina is the fact that I have a feeling there's something going on in her personal life as well. That's why she has to be very tough and very, I don't know, like out there and not letting anyone bug her. So I think there's going to be more to reveal about her.
I definitely think it has to do with her mom striving for perfection.
Yeah.
Especially when you do it to your kids. Like, they take it to a different level.
Right.
Because they think that's the only way you'll be happy with them, that you won't be disappointed with them if
Right.
they're not who they're supposed to be for
Yeah.
you. But then that also comes in a realization of high school where you have to learn who you are and become who you want to be, not so much what your parents want to be. But that's
Yeah.
also something you have to come to terms with and find for yourself. I can tell you that I'm blue in the face, but that don't mean you're going to listen.
True. And I just feel like she's trying to play this, like, bad girl role. But at the end of the day, she's going to be someone who's going to get checked pretty much and be, like, be a little bit more nice. And she's going to definitely have a change of character at the end. I can already see it.
I can hope.
You don't think?
It wouldn't be as fun if she did.
True.
That's the only reason why. I mean, I hope certain aspects of her personality
Right.
change for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But if it all changed, it wouldn't be as fun. So I'm hoping it gets on the side of fun.
I don't think so much change, but I think the fact that she's kind of going to step down and really accept where she's going to be at in regards to, like, high school and this whole musical. Kind of like how Chae did, how towards the end of, like, the movie, she kind of knows where she's at in her roles. Yes, she's still this diva, and yes, she's still, like, a star, but she's going to let other people take those roles pretty much. So I think she's going to have a little bit of a balance, and she's going to be a little bit more humble. I think that's what I hope. Or at least I hope.
We can hope. That's all
I think we can just hope for a lot of things in the season. But I felt like overall the second episode was a little bit more and gave us more insight. But there's still a lot to go and a lot more characters that I feel like we still have to know.
Definitely. From between EJ and the possessiveness part that he was dealing with.
Yeah.
And then just Gina going to Ricky and then in a way trying to shift it in the direction she wanted to go, but it obviously backfired.
Yeah.
And then having Gina take the phone and, first he thought it was Ashlyn. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. Like, I don't understand. And then Gina walks up, she's like, you're welcome. But I think it's funny. So while EJ thinks they're on the same path.
Yeah.
But they're not on the same path because if she gets her way, you'll be Chae, but I'll be Gabriella.
I didn't even realize that. You're
Really?
right. But yes, now I get it. You're right. Duh. And I don't think he's going to realize that they're going to work together. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because if Gina gets what she wants, she'll be Gabriella and you'll be Chae.
True.
So, or, Ricky will be Chae and she'll be Gabriella. Either way, Nini not there.
Agree. So, what if do you feel like overall the roles are going to change?
I hope not. I think they might do it and then go back to normal and true High School Musical fashion because it wouldn't be High School Musical if you didn't do it that way.
True.
So I can definitely see it happening. And what roles people are going to do, I have no clue.
I don't think so. I feel like there's going to be a small twist, but not a big change. But let me know what people are saying in the chat. I know there's a lot of interaction going in there. I can see you read it.
I want to shout out somebody real quick in the chat because I'm just interested about what they said and I want to hear your response to it.
Okay.
So Logan Knight says, Chae is my girl and they did her dirty by making it seem like she was the villain when she wasn't, which is why I love Gina. I wouldn't say so Chae technically is not the villain. She's more of the antagonist. Mm-hmm. I mean, people could say it's the same thing, however, but that doesn't necessarily make her the villain. That just makes her a diva.
Right? And I feel like Gina's the same way. Where I think it's more of like kind of how EJ, they've always gotten what they wanted.
Yes.
So now they're not. So I don't think, but something that does come up to mind now that I think about it is we're not really seeing much of a Chae or like being the antagonist or the villain, you can say, in this series. We're seeing more of that Gina who wants to take over that main role. So do you feel like Chae was left out?
I feel like there's some Chae in everybody, and I feel like everybody's going to have that light shine on them, in a sense.
Right.
Because Chae is the cornerstone character.
Yeah.
And somebody has to be her. Whether just because Seb's playing her doesn't mean he will be her.
Agreed.
So I feel like it's going to maybe even somebody we don't expect at the same time.
So what if Gina gets that role?
Chae or...
Chae.
I actually be upset for Seb. I'm like, we're in a new time period. Let Seb be Chae. Let it rock.
True.
Let's call him Chae and see what he can do.
Yeah.
I want to see him do Pop to the Top.
I know.
Okay?
I think that'd be amazing. But yeah, I feel like in a way though we are missing a little bit more of her being like the main character. But it works. I think it's working so far. But did they respond?
Somebody beat. I'm sorry I get this right. BT Went Pink Love. Seb is playing Chae, which will make him gay in the play because Chae likes Chae, who is a guy.
Oh.
I mean, that's food for thought.
These are some good connections that people are making here. Obviously, they're making us think of a little bit more, but that's true. But maybe just acting gay doesn't mean necessarily that he is going to be gay.
Because there are a lot of straight actors who do play, and they've done it for years.
Exactly.
Like Darren Criss, completely straight and married to a woman who's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Yeah.
But it works. So
yeah, it works.
I think there's going to be a twist. There's obviously, again, in the second episode, we got a little bit more, but I don't think we got enough yet to still be judging who's going to be who and what's going to happen. I feel like they're teasing so much. It's like, you only get this little bit more. And you're only going to get, like, in the first episode, it was kind of more of an introduction. Now, in the second episode, it was more like, here's a little bit more, but not too much. Yeah. So I think there's still way more to come. And I feel like towards the middle of the season, we're definitely going to be able to judge who's going to be who and why and where really this is going to go.
Especially by the end of the season, I feel like definitely a cliffhanger, but also... we know who they are. What is the next act? Like this, like season 1 is act 1. Mm-hmm. What is act 2 going to be like?
True. And then do you think they're going to go through like all the movies? Because there's 3.
That's what somebody actually mentioned in our last week's video comment. They asked, since season 1 is High School Musical 1, what if season 2 is High School Musical 2 and then they get renewed for a 3rd season and it's the 3rd High School Musical 3? And they said that would be cool. I'd actually be down for that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, even if it's the summer, like, there's summer camp. There's summer drama camp. There's a whole thing. There's a whole, like, platform you can go in that direction. So I can see it, and I'd be down for it. Though some people in the chat are saying it might be just a different play.
Oh, that's true.
Like, maybe this is, like, the winter formal, and then there can be a spring show for the second season.
Or you think they're just going to do a couple acts, and they're not going to finish it?
Ooh, that would be a nice cliffhanger to leave on. Like, we haven't finished the play or something like dramatic happens.
So who's gonna do like that end game? Because the game is like the biggest part. What we look forward to is everyone dancing. We're all in this together. So I think it's definitely gonna be interesting the way they go about this. But we'll see what happens. I think we can just leave it at that.
I want some more Ricky and Nini moments. I'm not.
Yes, me too.
It was interesting though watching her like do the little smile as she's watching Carlos help Ricky actually get it down.
Yeah.
I think it made her see Ricky in a new light. Because especially when you're in a relationship, and even though a person says they don't like something, especially something you love, that doesn't necessarily mean they're always not gonna like it.
Right.
You have to like get them into it a little bit or show them what it's like. They have to experience it for themselves to know if they're going to like it or not, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, relationships in high school are hard.
Complicated.
They're complicated. They're complex. They are tiring.
Yes. And I think also, like, everyone's still trying to find who they are as individuals. So we're seeing a lot of that. And in high school, it's easy. I feel like we kind of got that in the last episode where it's kind of all rainbows and butterflies and we're not really getting into the real issues. But now they're going to get to that moment where... like, Nini has issues of her own. I feel like a little bit more of, like, confidence that she's getting now. And then Ricky's having his own problems at home. So it's affecting the way he's acting. So we're going to see a lot of growth, I feel like, in this whole season of getting that reality check about life and then how they're acting in high school.
Yeah, and I hope seeing some of the parents, too, because Nini has 2 moms. That'll be cool. Like you said, I would love to see Ricky's mom, who she is. Mm-hmm. I would love to see some of, like, just, like, where Carlos came from. Just like,
yes, oh my gosh.
Just to see what, like, him watching the music video, and then, like, it was almost a testament to, like, trying to throw rocks at a window.
Right.
To get attention. Yeah. And he's just, like, headphones, like, what is happening?
I still love him. He's definitely a character, and I just love that little bit of sass that he adds in the episodes, that it's, like, not annoying, but it's enough.
Yeah, it's just, like, the perfect amount. Like, especially when she's singing, she's like, did you just make that up? Like, kind of like he wanted to write it down and, like, put it in, like, a notebook.
I feel like he's definitely into us, and I do want to see, like you said, a little bit more of where he came from and where he's going to go.
Definitely. Because
he wants to be in Broadway. So there's definitely more to come for him as well. But now, speaking, since he was in my Wildcat Corner last week, let's go ahead and go into our special segment of Wildcat Corner.
Yeah! I love this music so much. It gets you hyped.
I know. It reminds me literally of high school. And, well, for those of you who are just joining us, Wildcat Corner is pretty much our MVP of the episode. So, Chae, give it to me. Who was your MVP of this episode?
So, guys, if you didn't not watch the first week's episode that we did, just so you understand how Wildcat Corner works. So, we're going to give you our MVP person of the episode. Whatever they made us feel that was just awesome, that's what we're shouting out. So,
I know yours.
You already know mine. But I'll start with you because you already know mine. You get to start.
Okay, fine. I was gonna choose the same one as you did, but I guess in this episode I want to give it to Gina. I think because she definitely played that like rebellious like bad girl character where literally the whole episode I was just watching her give like pretty much mad dog like anyone that walks through. And I was like, dang, she's really not liking anyone. So I gotta give it to her for that role that she played in this past episode of she really is trying to do what she's got to do to get her part.
For me, you already know mine. Because I told her so she knows why.
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I think we all love this.
Ashlyn is definitely the MVP of the episode. She was amazing. Her lines were funny, witty, clever. And she just... what I love so much about her character was she wasn't afraid... Like, even though EJ's her cousin and he's, like, this big guy on campus, she's not afraid to, in a way, try to keep him humble and try to keep him down on earth. Yeah. Because even when Nini told EJ that I was hanging with your cousin, he's like, ew, why? And for me, that's also another thing I wanted to touch on. Sir, that is your cousin. Yes. Like, you ask for favors around here, and you giving that kind of reaction.
Right. I know, I was going to say that, too. I felt like I was going to see a little bit more of that in the beginning when she approached him at first and was trying to have a conversation. I thought he was going to be like, ew, why are you talking to me? Like, you're my cousin. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. But then we saw that more towards the end, but he's still trying to be nice to her because he wants a favor. Right. And he even shouted her out during the table read. Or like, EJ's my cousin. He's like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, we're cousins type thing. And like, okay, so you're only my cousin when it's convenient for you. Got you. Well, he said it's for the fans. So he's definitely putting up this front of I'm an amazing guy. So I think there's definitely more to reveal about him. But I want to know for you guys in the chat, who was your MVP of this episode? Well, Logan Knight agrees with you. My MVP is Gina, since she was petty. She was pretty bold. Sorry, I thought I said petty. She was pretty bold. A tad. Just a tad. She was pretty. I shouldn't want to say petty. She was pretty bold and a good character. Plus, I love the bad girl act she has. Ivan Soto says, Ricky is my MVP, the way he didn't give up and how he was with his dad. I love that. Arun says, Ricky and Nini and Ashlyn are my MVPs. I agree. I think there's definitely a lot of MVPs in this episode. But now let's go ahead and move on to our news. Okay, guys, so I got 2 news for you today. Which High School Musical, the series, cast member was only supposed to be in 1 episode? That's right. Dara Renee, when she auditioned, her character was only supposed to be in 1 episode. So she auditioned for every other role, except for the one she actually got the part for she shared. They were like, we don't know what's really popping for her. They made me read Courtney, who was only supposed to be in 1 episode, but I put a little twist on it, and they were like, you know what? You might be a series regular. Olivia added to her story, she's being humble. She was so amazing that they had to put her in every episode. That's some girl love I appreciate right now. I love that. She's definitely, I don't think I can see this whole season without her. At all. Like, I need Courtney in my life. She keeps everybody humble. And I also promised you guys some photos from when I did the High School Musical trivia at D23 this year. And there's a picture of me right now for those listening on iTunes in my mini costume. I am legit dressed like Minnie with my ears and everything. That's how you know she's a real fan of Disney. She's literally obsessed with Disney. She already has that 1 song in her Spotify playlist. Oh, I have the 3. Oh, all 3. I got Start Something New, Nini version. I think you know the duet version, and I have Wondering now. And that's another picture of what it looked like. They have the Disney Plus booth. It was incredible, guys. If you did not check it out, check out all the press photos they have on the D23 website. It is everything. I'm just so excited for everything that's happening in Disney Plus, and I know, this show has been amazing. Yes, it has, and I think there's still so much for us. There's so much more to come, and definitely. I love that it's little by little, and we're just getting started with all this. But now let's go ahead and move into our predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. I definitely feel like EJ and Gina are going to be more of a team. They're going to have a little bit more conversations, and maybe Nini is not going to be too happy about this because she knows kind of the little bit of competition that she has with Gina. So I think there's going to be a little bit of an argument coming between Nini and EJ in regards to his trash issues and now him teaming up with Gina.
My prediction is the bros are about to go head to head with each other.
Yes.
It's going to be EJ versus Ricky. It's going to be veiled at first, but then it's going to get not so subtle. It's going to be just like point blank to your face type situation where like the facade that EJ has is going to fade and you're going to kind of see what truly he is about.
Yeah,
in that sense. I don't know if Nini will confront Gina just yet. She'll definitely vent to obviously Courtney or somebody else because she understands Gina is out for her role. Gina wanted it, and Gina is not afraid to come get it.
And we can see that in her little side eye and everything that she's been doing this whole episode. So I think you're definitely right. So there's so much more to come, but we are pretty much done with this episode.
This is a fun episode.
Yes, it was. I'm really sad that Jeff wasn't here, but I know next week is going to be a little bit of a twist because we're going to have our male opinion, and he's going to definitely go against everything that we say.
Most likely. I would want to be on that side of the table when that happens.
But let's go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
Hey guys, you can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me as your new correspondent for Disney News Weekly on Popcorn Talk and the season mid-series finale for Stumptown tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Alrighty, and you can find me at Leslie Colon _ and I also do talk about everything and anything wrestling in Spanish and English, so go ahead and find me that on Raw en Español on Mondays, and right after this, Total Divas at 9 p.m. We'll see you next week.
Bye guys!
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.